Snell-Hornby translation theory. The first one is about her biography. Snell-Hornby, born to April 1940, is a British Australian translator and scholar. Snell was awarded a state scholarship to study at St. Felix School, Southwark, where she attained GCE Advanced and scholarship level in English, French, and German with distinction in 1958. She studied English, French, German, and moral philosophy at the University of St. Andrews, where she obtained her Magister of Arts with first-class honors in German language and literature in 1962. The Austrian Ministry of Education granted her a postgraduate research scholarship for research on Austrian drama, which she followed at the University of Vienna, Austria. In 1966, she became Bachelor of Philosophy at the University of St. Andrews for her thesis, The Dramatic Satire of Karl Kraus and Johannes Roy, a comparative study. In 1981, she went to the University of Zurich, Switzerland, where she got a habilitation with Venia Legendi for English linguistics and Sprachdidatik. For her thesis, Verb Descriptivity in German and English, a contrastive study in semantic fields. And then in 1987, the University of Zurich granted her a PhD for her thesis, Translation Studies, an Integrated Approach, which the famous one from her. Last but not least, in 1993, Snell-Hornby was appointed president of the then newly formed European Society of Translation Studies, EST. The second part is her contribution. Snell-Hornby says that literary translation should develop methods of analysis and investigation, both to determine the envisaged role of the translated text in the target culture and to anticipate its possible reception by readers and critics.
The main points and principles of the chosen translation theory that Mary Snell-Hornby theory. The first one is integrated approach. Snell-Hornby's approach is integrated, bridging the gap between literary, general, and special language translation. She combines concepts and methods from both translation theory and linguistics to provide a comprehensive framework for understanding translation. The second, cultural perspective. Snell-Hornby emphasizes the importance of considering cultural context in translation. She advocates for a more cultural approach through text analysis and cross-cultural communication studies. This perspective recognizes that translation is not merely a linguistic transfer but also involves cultural nuances. The third one is text and language. Snell-Hornby explores the relationship between text and language in translation. She examines how different linguistic elements such as lexemes, grammar, and syntax impact the translation process. Her focus extends beyond surface-level equivalence to deeper textual and communicative aspects. The theory influences translation, practice, and understanding. For the first one, in cultural awareness and context. Snell-Hornby emphasizes the importance of considering cultural context in translation. Translators too follow her approach, pay attention to cultural nuances, idiomatic expressions, and social conventions. This leads to more accurate and culturally appropriate translation. The second, text analysis and adaptation. Snell-Hornby's integrated approach encourages through text analysis. Translators examine not only the linguistic aspects but also the communicative purpose, genre, and intended audience. They adapt to their translation to suit the target culture while preserving the essence of the source text. And the third one, linguistic choices and equivalence. Snell-Hornby's work highlights the need for equivalence in translation. Translators make conscious choices regarding lexical, grammatical, and stylistic elements, and they aim for functional equivalence, ensuring that the translated text conveys the same meaning and impact as the original one.
Example of translation application of the theory. Source text Indonesia. Jelajahi keindahan alam yang memukau dan budaya yang berwarna-warni di Bali, yang terkenal dengan pantai-pantai bersihnya, sawah-sawah hijau yang mempesona, dan warisan seni yang kaya. Project text English. Explore the breathtaking landscapes and vibrant culture of Bali, known for its pristine beaches, lush rice terraces, and rich artistic heritage. This example is to illustrate the application of the theory in the context of cultural awareness and context. Why? Because the translation places a strong emphasis on highlighting the enchanting natural landscapes and vibrant cultural heritage of Bali. It is all about making people excited to visit Bali and see all the cool stuff there. The words are chosen carefully to make Bali sound super interesting and fun, so people want to go there and explore. There's another example of the application of the theory in the context of cultural awareness and context. Source text English. The scent of the freshly grilled chicken satay filled the cozy kitchen, evoking memories of child. Target text Indonesian. Aroma sate ayam yang baru dipanggang memenuhi dapur yang nyaman, membangkitkan kenangan masa kecil. In this example, the translators integrate cultural elements by selecting a food item, which is sate ayam or chicken satay, that resonates with the target culture's culinary preferences. They also consider cultural associations with childhood memories, ensuring that the translation captures not only the linguistic meaning, but also the cultural connotation of the source text.
Source text Indonesian. Jangan terlalu panas kepala, semua pasti akan baik-baik saja. Target text English. Don't get too worked up, everything will be fine.
It is the example of translation application of the theory used in idiomatic expressions. Why is it considered as that? Because the Indonesian idiomatic expression "jangan terlalu panas kepala" literally translates to "don't get too hot-headed." However, to convey the same meaning effectively in English, the translator opts for a more direct and culturally appropriate expression, which is "don't get too worked up," while ensuring that the message retains its reassuring tone. Everything will be fine.
We got another example of application theory used in idiomatic expressions. Source text English. It is raining cats and dogs outside. Don't forget to bring an umbrella. Target text Indonesian. Hujannya sangat deras, jangan lupa bawa payung.
The explanation of this example is because the English idiomatic expression for raining cats and dogs is not directly translatable into Indonesian. Instead, the translator provides a literal description of the weather, hujannya sangat deras, which meaning the rain is very heavy, to convey the same message effectively to Indonesian speakers. So the cultural reference is substituted with a straightforward description to maintain clarity and relevance.
Source text English. The cat chased the mouse through the garden. Target text Indonesian. Kucing mengejar tikus di taman. The last example is the application theory in the context of linguistic choices and equivalence. Why is it considered so? Because in this translation, the linguistic elements of lexemes, which is words, grammar, and syntax are considered. The translator maintains the same word order and uses equivalent lexemes in Indonesian. Additionally, the grammar and syntax are adjusted to fit the rules of Indonesian language structure.